Hello peeps, this is the Hillbilly halfwit Gaza here, and today we're going to talk about the Stonehenge conspiracy. Now, before I go any further, I'd just like to say thank you all for subscribing to my channel. Please comment, like, and share. Share this stuff out there because people need to know this stuff, especially my political stuff. I do other things, but my political stuff is what needs to be shared, really. So thank you very much. You've really been making my channel quite popular lately, and I really enjoy listening to the comments. So, right, let's get started on this one. Now, many years ago, I suppose about 15 years ago, about 15 years ago, there was something happening at Stonehenge, and I remember sitting in our kitchen talking to my dad, and my dad goes, yeah, that place was rebuilt in the 1950s. And I burst out laughing. I said, you're off your head. And he said, I know for a fact it was. He said, because when I was reading the paper one day, I remember seeing it in the paper. And he said it just like that, and I knew there was something in it. So he would not have it. He said that he was right. So I went off and I investigated it. And this was at a time when nobody was really looking too much at the internet. And it was around the time I started my channel, I think, years ago. So I went searching about, and to my amazement, he was right. Now, let's go. Lots of people watching this will assume, I think, that Stonehenge wasn't there at all, and not at all. I think Stonehenge was built by the people they say it was built by. But this is the oldest picture I've got of it. A lot of it was blown down. And what I'm saying is that they actually rebuilt it and set it in concrete. And as I go through this, you will see it in action. So, these are the earliest pictures I've got. Well, I just went searching everywhere for early pictures, and this is a very early one. And you can see half of it is down. And this is another earlier one here where somebody's walking around it. Look, back then you could climb on top of them and all sorts. So as you look there, there's one arch completely on the ground. Lots of others leaning. This is a very old picture where they obviously didn't have cars then. It's just carts, look. They got stones, so I don't know what they're up to there. But if you look in the background, lots of it is down there. And it doesn't look very safe. There's two bits of it up. This looks like it's in around the First World War time. And if you look in the background, they got props holding it up. You see timber props? I think this would be around World War One, so 30s to 40s time, I think. Now this gets interesting. This is one of the ones I found, and I thought, oh my God, there's something in this. If you look at that stone in the middle there, it's got a concrete plinth, and the stone is leaning back against it. And the one on the right has got like a concrete on it as well. Now what I later found out was that there's rope going round that and round that plinth, and he's holding that stone up. Now, I've got nothing against them doing all this. It's just they should be truthful about it, and they should say what happened. When you see a time team program, they say they can't dig here because it's very, very, what's called archaeological. No, it's because there's concrete in the ground, and it was all dug up before in reality. This is this same one. If you see, it's like been plastered on the side there. And there's that little boy. And that's when you could walk around it. Now they hide this side from the people so they can't see it. That's where the path only goes on the one side now. They don't want you to see what they've been up to. This was a whole stone on the plinth. I don't know what they would call it. One of the ones that fell over. Looking by the lady in the background, it looks like it's in the 50s or 60s. Probably the 50s before they started doing it. Now this is when it gets interesting. I found out roughly around 1954 they decided to do a big dig on this and pick all the ones up that had fell over, do an archaeological dig all over the place and lift them all back up and concrete them in. This is at night look. It looks like a Model T Ford there. That looks before I don't know when that was. But if you see in the background, they're doing something at the dark there. Now here's a ready mix lorry where they're putting ready mix in around one of them. If you can see there in the photo. Lots more up than there was before, look. Same thing here again. Lots of children around there and sleepers and people working, putting concrete around these things. They've dug it out probably and looked at everything, and now they're concreting them back in. Here's one being lifted up, look. They had special braces. And imagine how they used to put these up originally when they had to use a crane to do it now. Well, back then. Now this is quite an iconic photo, I think. It says it all, really, where they're lifting it and putting it back on top. Now, to me, you think of them people in the Stone Age who managed to get that up there without anything. They must have had some kind of I don't know, an A-frame or something, because how would you lift that up there? Because they needed a crane now. It's quite fantastic how they did it back in all them years ago. Here they are, they're loading another one back on the top. This one looks like it's been broken. So I don't know what they did to that one. So, another one on its side. They had a special cradle where it looks like you can lift them up and then twist them to put upright. Because I suppose they're huge rocks. They're not going to snap, are they, really? So here they are. They're cradling one now and looking underneath it. This is one it looks like was on the floor before. Now here's quite a good photo. This one shows them digging around it and checking what was all around it. Then they've got wire holding it upright. That's being tensioned and sleepers, and then they'll concrete round that. So where you see them now, pretty much all the stones are concreted in. Like I said, I find it fascinating how they did it originally. But there we are, there's that one again. I've had to re-upload this one and do it again because YouTube wouldn't upload it for some reason. I don't know what's going on, but the weirdest things happen on YouTube. So this, if you look on the top of that, they've got a ball and socket joint there. Look at the bottom piece. There's got a hole drilled in it somehow. Must have done it with stones, I should imagine. I don't know. And would have been hard work getting that hole in that stone with another stone. I can imagine that. So I think we underestimate how people were all them years ago who built these things originally. Now here's the ones that were on the floor. The archaeologists are digging underneath it and having a look what's going on. Look, and the guys in the background are waiting to rip it up onto its edge and stick it back in the ground with some concrete. There's another one they're picking up, look. That one was obviously on its side. So they're going to lift that one up again. Obviously check all around it, see if there's any stuff underneath it and stick her in concrete again. Loads of people knew about this. Like my dad said, it was in the paper at the time. And now if you mention it today, I mention it very often to my friends and they think I've lost the plot. When it's obvious that it happened. If you go and look for it, things, you can see it happened. Look here. There is the whole site with a huge crane upright in one there. And what gets me is to think that people now these days, academics, think it's better to hide it than just to say what happened. That's what I find bizarre about it all. It's why not say it happened? Because it wouldn't really bother anybody, I don't think, if they knew. And you do now, you do know. The Hillbilly halfwit has shown you. And I love history myself. I'd love to go there. I must go there sometime and have a look. Just this was one of the first things I looked at, and I was genuinely, my jaw dropped and thought, how don't people know about all this? And when I mentioned it to my dad and I said he was right, he turned around and he said, I know it was because I remember it happening. Always listen to the older people in society because they forgot more than you learned. There, look at that, eh? It's amazing, really. Like I said, how did they originally get him up there? I think maybe they built soil up to it and slid it up myself, but I don't know. There's one being transported off somewhere. And you can see the name of the firm there. I can't quite read it. See, there's hundreds of people around when they were doing it. I just find it weird when people are afraid of the truth, really. That's why, like I said, I find it quite sad when with these political things now, really, where people are just happy to ignore the truth of what some politicians are doing to other people, and like this, really, just ignore it all. There we are. Look, there's them cages to stop landerers getting stuck. Look, they put all on the ground. There's another one being stuck in, look. So that one wasn't originally upright. Look, you can see by it. No other one's by the side of it. Half of it was down. So you can stop on any of these pictures and have a good look. I can't carry on for stopping at every one for too much. It'll be too long a video. Here's that kid wondering what on earth was going on here all these years ago. And you look in the background and they got Lego. And that's one of the original pictures again, if you see. Like I said, half it was flat. I do think it was all originally done by the prehistoric people or whoever did it. And I'm not saying that didn't happen. But definitely in the 1950s, the later part of the 50s, this was all rebuilt and put in concrete. And that's why when you see all these archaeological shows on TV now, nobody will dig around there because they know it's all concrete and it's all been done. Time team the same. So comment, rate and subscribe, and please share these videos because it makes the channel better. Ta-da!